All right, good afternoon, Speed Gaming 2. Welcome to some more Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer Co-op Edition. My name is Tracy, and with me today is Raylan Tankier. How are you doing, Raylan?
I'm doing fine, and I'm pretty excited for this race. Tournament just started, and yeah, there will be some stuff happening here. So I'm excited to see
Some stuff.
what we're going to see. I mean, there was yesterday's race where we had some very strong Super Metroid skills and tricks showed off. Maybe we will see a little bit more on the League Pass set today. Who knows? But yeah.
Well, I like it when hard mode actually brings us hard mode. And we do see that Crayon's going to go ahead and check. And also Omnifloss are both doing the blue Brin check, which, you don't usually see this in solo, but in in co-op, it's not uncommon to have this as a pretty good play. A book that, see, that is, I think, like the worst thing to find in this situation, because you can't just leave it, but you don't really want a book, It just means extra places that might have nothing.
On the other hand, it's something that can you.
Okay, there's an item we definitely want.
Yeah.
Now you don't feel so bad about keeping that book.
No, definitely.
And a fire-rotted uncle. We're just finding things everywhere.
Yeah, so this can be another very fast seat, or there can be some very good stuff happening. So.
Okay, so unfortunately, getting those items down in Blue Brin means you're not going to reset. You're just going to grab those items and go. And get a quick lumber check from Zempt. Just a reminder, it's Zempt and Crayon versus Omnifloss and Madbow.
2 layout borders, whatever, versus red. Left versus right.
Yep. Looks like Madbow is going to go ahead and do a Houlihan, which is certainly useful, or maybe getting fairies. I'm not sure why he went into the cave.
That's for the Houlihan setup. That does make it or streamlined a bit, or makes it more consistent.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'd mostly do this in entrance randomizer, where you're going in to check that entrance anyway.
Yeah. You don't have to, but there's nothing wrong with going in there. Just you can get the setup you know of.
Except it costs time. Oh, and powder at Link's house. So all sorts of nice little goodies throughout.
Okay, but now that they've included into saying, okay.
Yeah, with Omnifloss doing Link's house and doing this area, I guess it makes sense for Madbow to go ahead and go north to south, and converge somewhere in Kakariko.
Yeah. It just for me, I think the pass play it all feels a bit off. I'd rather would have seen him maybe taken the way over to Lake Hydia, buy some bombs, and check back of Sarasrada first. Get that information out of the way since you did Houlihan.
Yeah, I kind of like the splitting up and not. I'm not a big fan of converging in Kakariko. Let one person fill it up, check it out, and then the other person can just get the stuff that they need. But in the case of, I definitely like the idea if you can get that flute before heading into Kakariko, so you can activate it. So, we have Zempt already in Kakariko. We definitely out of his way to go ahead and get that flute right now. So unfortunately for him, he won't be able to have it in Kakariko to activate it. Looks like everybody else should.
We are starting off very strong here with the Link to the Past progression. And weapons, fire rod, hammer.
Yeah, have we? I mean, missiles, but have we seen anything? We haven't seen anything non-missile, and Super Metro related. I don't think. Omnifloss can take that hammer and do escape. I like that. If one of your players has a weapon early, just do the escape right away.
Oh, definitely.
Well, there's some super missiles and an E-Tank. I mean, that's Super Metroid, but really nothing progressive. Although E-Tanks in hard mode are progression, potentially for hell runs. Most Hell Run things take 5 E-tanks. There are a few exceptions, and we'll get to those if they come up. And with Powder and Hammer, might as well check the bat right away. I find in both this game and Link to the Past only, if you get early Powder and early Hammer, might mean something.
Yep.
By the way, has anyone done a map check yet?
If they did, I certainly missed it.
Yeah, I didn't see one either. Okay, power bombs in Blind's hut, so we don't have to worry about those. And super. So still no actual non-common items for Super Metroid. Just E-tank. We do a couple E-tanks are nice, some supers. I like to get those power bombs early so you don't have to worry about them, but yeah, still not a whole lot else.
At least we have an ice beam here on the way to the cell in the boomerang chest.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Awesome. Ice beam is nice. Although early ice beam, I turn it off early if I don't have another beam because it just gets in the way. You just got to remember to turn it back on when the time comes. But nice to not have to worry about those Metroid rooms, not have to worry about using power bombs. But yeah, it's an interesting location for that ice beam. I don't know. I don't know that it's worth, if you know that's what the item is, I don't know if it's worth going and getting it for the time save. It would be in the Metroid rooms. It has other uses as well. You might need it for something like Suitless Meridia, so you might get it for things like that. But I don't know that I certainly wouldn't rush it if I were the partner.
Yeah. It depends on how it will play out, but if you are able to get back to the castle early on, it's probably still a good idea to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you don't need to get back there, especially if you were to Uncle, you have Fire Rod and Flute. So yeah, we will see how that plays out.
Okay, heart container for Crayon in the dam. He will go ahead and flood it so we can see what's lying there. Meanwhile, Omniflot's doing Dark Cross with a hammer only and 3 hearts. This is definitely not a dark room I'm willing to do. He's got Fire Rod, but no magic, unfortunately.
Yeah, Omnifloss had a bit magic earlier, lit the room in the lit the torch in the prior room to see where the snakes are going, but ran out of magic there, so couldn't use it for Dark Cross.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of early magic resources unless you get one of the. Well, we don't really do prize packs in this version, so you just kind of get, if you get a lucky drop somewhere, you can get some magic that way. Okay, Crayon gonna take that book and immediately check.
Yeah, I can understand it, especially if you get the book early. You have to come here quick.
I also kind of think of the book as making the EGto play pretty much free. It's still out of the way and hard to, you just can't pair it with anything else. But in this case, now you can, so.
Yeah, it's still, there's maybe just be my Link of the Past side Link to Past back, speaking of, but I probably would have tried at least to maybe pick up the mountain first, or that's rather to maybe get a glove, maybe get boots, to have something more to do here in desert before I make that.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Maybe the Zempt will go to the mountain, or maybe Blue Crayon will go there now. And looks like Madbell's gonna blind check the race gun. I don't know if we've seen this yet. Or maybe he checked it and I didn't quite catch it. We'll see what it is. If it's crap, we'll know he didn't check it ahead of time. You're not going there. Yeah, I mean, I might have grabbed it if I already had done the race game, but this is definitely not something I'd go back for. So yeah, definitely didn't check it ahead of time. Ammo in co-op, like normally when you play 1v1 or just playing by yourself, it's hard not to get enough ammo to finish the game if you don't find charge beam. But in co-op, it's actually fairly common to really be hurting for ammo. So I tend to like to pick up the extra missiles and stuff in co-op, much more so than when I'm playing by myself, just in case either charge beam is not available or in just a really, really bad spot that is just way too out of my way to go get.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, safe play to make. On the other hand, with this being co-op, it's just, even if charge beam is somewhere deep, somewhere, it's a bit more likely that you at least will get information about it and then can maybe somewhat, hopefully somewhat early decide, do you want to go for ammo or do you think charge will be worth the time getting it?
Yeah, I mean, there was one of the co-ops had a charge beam at the space jump lock spot. And when we scouted there and Space Jump turned out to be behind Green Pendant, I just saw it there and I'm just like, okay, where are all those super missiles that I passed up because I'm gonna need them? Okay, I think this is the first we've seen a mini Moldor. We got Zempt about to go in there and Mad Bow going in there right now.
Oh, Zempt on the last bomb. Okay.
He's got one more he can grab. He's got... he's got no magic for the fire rod, so he's got to hit with this one.
Should have hit though.
He's fine. But he won't be able to do Ice Rod Cave. Oh, well, he will. Because there's bombs. But really not a whole lot else, so partners will, So Omnifloss and Crane will just, be able to just skip that.
It wasn't even worth the bombs invested.
No, it really wasn't.
Omnifloss now making the dip into desert. Also didn't pick up any boots, any glove to do something more in here.
Yeah, and we are boots locked here. Not only are we boots locked, we don't even have a good... It's just the map, I think. Maybe it was the compass. It was one of those dungeon items that we just don't care about. Okay, Ice Rod Cave is more rupees. And it's not even the big money rupees that get us closer to Zora, so... not that at this point it would make sense to sequence break Zora. Not in logic. Don't have a Moon Pearl to break the Waterfall Fairy or boots to do that, so...
And not nearly enough money. Yeah. So basically the eastern area is holding on to something.
Yeah, eastern, and we have 2 items in logic in the mountain area. I'm counting the energy tank location in SM at High Jump Boots. 1 item not in logic since we have nothing to... we don't have a lamp to rescue the old man, but certainly they can do that. And we can stare at the item on Spectacle Rock and hope it's not anything we need to worry about right now. But other than that, not a whole lot we can do on the mountain. But getting that save and quit's nice if you're good at... I mean, right now your best item to do the old man rescue is the hammer. That's a terrible item to do that with. So Eastern might be a better play.
It can be done with the hammer, but it's not that nice.
I mean, I know players that can do it without anything, and I know players that can do it with the flute. Problem with the flute is you need to have stereo on, and my TV doesn't do that, so it doesn't help me. But you can use kind of echolocation to use the flute to navigate in there. But
Sam did prove your point. Just didn't need anything for orientation. But it did not really pay off. Just some love from the old man.
I mean, he's got the save quit spot, so it pays off in that sense. But yeah, other than that, no, not a whole lot. I
mean, with the flute, that save the quit spot is not that important, although it's still the fastest one to flute away from.
Yeah, there are... Well, that's true, and also sometimes it's just more convenient to save and quit than it is to use the flute. Especially if you're... Oh, and if you're in the Dark World, and with no mirror, that's your only choice, so...
Yeah.
But you're definitely right. Definitely not as important. E-Tank sitting on the Spectral Rock. Oh, you know what? That is an important item. That Speed Booster. That is progression. That opens some interesting possibilities for us. That logically opens up parts of Green and Pink Brinstar. It also logically opens up Crocomire, which is, because this is hard mode, they could be required to do... We have at least 2 E-Tanks available. They could be required to gate glitch over to Croc to get some of the items there.
I was about to ask, because I did think we saw at least 2 E-Tanks already found, so yeah.
Yeah, it would be 2 E-Tanks. I'm pretty certain we've seen at least 2 E-Tanks in Logic. It does take 2. But they can be required to gate glitch over there on 2 E-Tanks. Kill Croc, and I think 3 of the... No, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 5 items could be could be something useful. I wonder if Zempt is going to go ahead and do that play. Does get the Nova in time. It's not a big deal if you don't. It's just it's a time loss. Yeah, he's got 3 tanks. It's plenty to do Croc with. Croc Escape, that's another item that, well, no, we would need Grapple being Space Jump. High Jump would put that in logic, because you can use Speed with High Jump to get up there. It might take more tanks, though, to do that, because that Hell Run to get out of the Croc area is a little tougher. Looks like he wants to do the Brinstar checks first, and that makes sense. With the save quit spot, he can come back there very easily. Ooh, a Charge Beam in Eastern.
Ooh.
Now, is that a pendant or... We still haven't seen a map check. I can't hear the... I don't know who's the music. I can't hear any music, so I don't know if this is pendant or a crystal. If that's a crystal, then that'll be easy for each teammate to get. If it's not, then I don't know.
We would need to change the audio to someone who is in Eastern because
and
no audio was on Zempt, and
it doesn't matter now because
Crayon's
not there anymore. We don't have available audio for either of our EG to AGA players, so. And I think so. Whatever is the progression, I think is going to be behind the speed booster. Just a question of whether it's here in Brinstar or in the Croc area. And the scary spot, of course, is the missiles, the pantry missiles that requires a very tricky short charge to get. It, in my opinion, shouldn't even be in logic, but it is. Oh, plasma beam.
I don't want to think about that one.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that one either. Super missiles, nice. Doesn't help us. More super missiles are nice, but don't help us. Probably going to come back here regardless, so I wouldn't worry. I do expect that there's nothing in Big Pink to see a reset from Zempt. Omnifloss get a sequence break the hobo and get a sword out of it. That's nice. It doesn't open anything right now, but I mean, certainly nice to have that.
Yeah, better to have it early than late.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, bombs don't help us. And one more item. Oh, there it is. A Big Pink Morph Ball. Okay. So now Zempt can go back and get all the things. Honestly, I would do some of these power bomb checks in Big Pink now and then leave some for later because he's only got 5 power bombs total. And Big Pink is a power bomb sucking area. It just wants you to use all of them. And if once he goes over to the Edecoons, there's the Fire Fleas near the missile refill that's got a ton of power bombs he could farm off of. The B-Toms in the Edecoons area really like to drop power bombs, so you could do like half the things with power bombs here now. Save one to get over there, save 1 or 2, and then go over to the Edecoons area to get the rest of them.
I wonder though how Zempt is going to attempt this. I may be tempted to go backwards from here towards
I would go backwards because if nothing else, there's a plasma beam waiting for him there.
Yeah, exactly for that. And if you really want, you can, or if you find some more power bombs, you can route back here through Retro Burn. Get all of those checks on the way. So yeah, please just take that route.
Okay, Mad Bow heading over towards his Morph Ball. And Blue Crayon, knowing that there's a Morph Ball waiting for him, is going to go get his too. Yeah, it's always a little scary at this point where it's like you've come over here and you haven't found anything, and then at the end you finally find the thing. The very last check.
And just a little bit too late for Omnifloss to not get information before going into the portal.
Yep.
Fortunate.
Looks like Zem's actually going to clear out all of Big Pink. Has enough power bombs to do it, so that makes sense. Has decided to turn off that ice beam. Yeah, I'm with him. Ice beam, once you have another beam with it, I don't think ice beam's too bad. But by itself, it just gets in the way more so than anything else. And there's some more extra power bombs, so that's good. Ideally, you want to have at least 15 for the run, especially before you have Barrier Suit, because that gives you Crystal Flash ammo. And if you don't get Ice Beam, then that gives you enough to get through the Metroid rooms without having to worry about refills.
Yeah, but this should work out very, very well for Samt here. Now with the additional power bombs, route back all the way up, getting the plasma on the way, and then being able to refill, maybe do Gauntlet if you want to. And
okay, Crayon looks... Oh, okay, he opened the door, but it's just... It looked like he was maybe going to keep going. I could see one of them choosing to do the blue Brinstar area. But we still don't have a lot of power bombs. So, blue Brinstar is kind of worse for power bombs. Well, you can save a few with the speed booster, but... Not a it is kind of heavy on the power bomb resources there.
Yeah, the thing with the retro bin there... for Omnifloss is, since it was already there with the hammer, to get the hammer, get the book, it would be probably better to try and avoid getting back there if you don't need to.
Yeah,
So...
I mean, on their side, since, in fact, I would send Zempt and Madbow would make the most sense to go there, because they need to pick up their hammers, and then Omnifloss and Crayon to do other things, because they've got their hammers and their books. Looks like nothing's particularly interesting in the early supers area. Other than the super missiles we already saw. Crayon's gonna get that plasma beam. And it may also be that, you know, Zempt will come back there just for the plasma beam later, and that way he just gets the plasma beam, because it looks like there wasn't anything else of use there.
I mean, if you get to Turian, it's kind of close to pick it up then.
A lot of it's going to depend on his ammo count, especially, you know, like Ridley. If you already have 30 supers, a charge plasma, well, in this case, charge ice plasma, isn't significantly better, so...
Yeah, on the other hand, just having that knowledge about plasma can already influence your decision on how much ammo do you even want to pick up.
Yeah, absolutely.
You do know you can get plasma.
Looks like the Edicoons didn't have a whole lot for us either.
Some money, which isn't bad.
I mean, like, you don't send your partner back for 300 rupees, but if you're the person that picked up the 300 rupees, you're probably going to be the one going to Zora.
Yeah.
Right now with Omnifloss and Madbow both in Big Pink, they kind of, I feel like they need to split up a little bit. With the main worth in Big Pink being just that morph ball. Okay, Madbow is going back towards the green Brinstar area. Of course, he's the one without the hammer, so he's the one that probably should be, as we talked about, should be checking the blueprint area. See what Omnifloss does. Reserve tank at the Green Hills. I mean, that puts hell runs in logic, so it makes sense to grab it. Although, I mean, 4 is enough to do any of the hell runs. Typically, the SMZ3 adds an E-tank to what the Super Metroid, the most commonly used settings that the League uses. Ooh, Screw Attack at Old Mother Brain. That's a nice luxury item for Zempt there.
Let's cut a little bit down on power bomb usage needed, or the necessity to set up some sparks.
He should be checking the criteria supers, because he's got ice, he's got I mean, you don't need ice, but it does make it easier. He's got speed booster. There's no reason. Oh, looks like he has checked. I can see it on his map. No, he hasn't. It's blue.
I think he has just a power bomb too, a few.
Oh
But you
yeah.
need to bump
Okay.
open the way
So yeah,
door and
good
then
call.
get it back out. So
Yeah, good call.
unfortunate.
Does grab the shield. I don't think we'll see Crayon picking that up.
I would be really surprised if you go out of the way for that.
I mean, I
Just to
personally
have
don't
some
mind
extra
shields.
lag.
Yeah, I mean, all the shields are the same now, so once you get one, it doesn't matter. But they've always been the same, to be clear. It's just that we thought it was more with the stronger shields. But I typically will pick up a shield if it's on path. But that's way too far out of the way if my partner finds it for me to go get one.
There are some very, very niche uses for some of the shield versions. Most notable, if you manage to get the mirror shield for laser bridge, it does make you not
Mirror
need
shield
to
is
use
great for
laser
laser
skills.
bridge. It's also great for mimics. We did see another shield in the back of Gauntlet, but more importantly, we saw a hook shot there. So that's a shield that you might pick up because it is on path. Because you're not skipping that hook shot unless you're really good at hovering and you know Swamp Palace is a pendant. And even then, you probably want to pick it up because you might end up needing it for other things. So yeah, no one's skipping that.
The problem with skipping the hookshot is you do need some mountain access to the right side, and
Yes,
especially
yes,
if
good
Swamp
point.
Palace is a pendant, that could mean that the mirror is just in GT, therefore not accessible, and then you need the hookshot to get to the right side of the mountain.
Yeah, people forget about that a lot. In my race seed, my tournament race seed, we had a mirror on Moldorm 2 chest, so yeah, that hookshot hard required, even though we never touch Swamp Palace, because obviously mirror in GT means you're never touching Swamp Palace. Okay, so we see Omnifloss doing a whole lot of checking in the Brinstar, but Madbow's still in the big pink area. Maybe I missed him doing some things, but I feel like he needs to move on. Crayon finding Grapple Beam, which will eventually put Shack Tool in logic, which is always fun, and of course puts X-Ray easily doable. Not in logic yet. We don't have enough E-tanks to do it without things like Space Jumper, Grapple. But once you have Grapple, actually no, 5 E-tanks is enough. So we do have enough for that. But Grapple just makes it better. We're get our first Morph Ball look at Norfair. Okay, go to the high jump boots area first. Speed booster allows us to get to Bubble Mountain. So that is an option. A toll. I think that's our first bottle. And more supers. So 30 supers for Crayon. It's really nice. Will allow an easy Ridley kill with supers if you want. And Crayon, like he's going back to Link to the Past. A little surprised he didn't kill Kraid. Like, it's 3 items. It's boss you have to kill anyway.
It shows great skilled though, and
Okay.
was
No, it is
certainly
okay.
in that area.
I was gonna say, seems a little odd. Now it makes sense.
And I'm pretty sure I've seen Crane do the quick kill. It was just so fast, I forgot to mention it.
MM2 Nest cartridge, our tracker informing us he got that grapple from the Kraid E-tank. So yeah, we did see that for sure. Trackers are MVPs. Shout outs to MM2 for doing the tracking here.
Omnichannel is going eastwards. Looks like we're getting a wrecked ship check here.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna go for it.
At least if he has the spark.
Yeah, having trouble with it. Doesn't take much for wreck ship in logic in hard mode, since you can be required to do a CWJ to get there. The good news is, it's very, very rare to actually have a hard required CWJ seed. I don't think I've ever had a hard required CWJ seed. I've had one or two logically required CWJ seeds. Okay, Malbow's gonna finish up the Brinstar clear out. Like Crayon went ahead and checked that Criteria Super. Gonna get that screw attack. This early screw attack, I think, is worth going out of your way for. Screw attack's a funny item. If you get it after you've done Lower Norfair, then just no. Because you're gonna turn it off for Zeb Skip anyway, most likely. So, okay, we're gonna get that Criteria Supers check right now. It's had the jump over and then just didn't crouch for the Shine Spark in time. With ice, you could just freeze them in the intended way. And a wave beam. Not required, but certainly nice. I don't know that Zempt goes back for that, though.
May depend on... hard to
It's a
say.
little unfortunate, because I think if you were missing both Screw Attack and Wave, I think you do go back for that. It's a little bit harder to justify going back for that if it's just Wave Beam. Also, he still hasn't picked up his Charge Beam, so...
But we have full beam full beam combo information on both teams, so
really
that
early.
may be something them does go for in the end, just to have the damage upgrade. Depends on routing though.
Yeah, and and a lot of it will depend on if one runner is ahead of the other, because this is based on the time of the last finisher. So whoever's ahead can take a little bit extra time to grab extra luxury items if they know where they are. So if Zempt is enough ahead of Crayon at the end, if he is the one that's ahead, he can choose to grab some of those extra items. Okay, Zempt and Omnifloss going to be in simultaneous Fantoon fights. I'm gonna get that hook shot.
Even going for shield. But yeah, I think for Crane it might make sense here to okay, not going over to Link to Past. So maybe take a, or I wanted to say, maybe take a quick check of Eastern Mountain.
Yeah.
You could go up all the way to Hera. So.
Like right here, checking Criteria Power Bombs if they haven't already would be good. He could also head down through... He's the one with the Grapple Beam, so he could head down through... if you head down... Oh, Omnifloss took a death! Fantoon is a rough one, especially without a suit. It looks like Blue Crane's gonna go back to Link to the Past. I thought maybe he'd go down Red Tower and get to the mountain that way. It's 3 extra checks, plus he could also do X-ray at the same time. But hey, that's a map check. All I saw was the crystal at Hera, so...
And the other 2 were pendants. Green Eastern, and I believe Red Desert. So I'm not 100% sure. I don't think Desert Pendant is vanilla, actually. But the Eastern one is definitely.
So yeah, might have made sense, but it might send Zempt to do those. Zempt without the Grapple Beam, though, the X-ray check will be a lot more difficult for him. Doable. Can do it with Ice Beam. Actually, you can do it with nothing if you know the D-boost setup. Maybe he does. Or maybe they'll just save it for later.
We have certainly seen that you could do it without almost anything yesterday.
Yeah, we did. Ooh, Bugnet for Zempt, not exactly what he's looking for. Omnifloss is gonna go right back to that Fantoon fight. Okay, what do we got in Paradox Cave? Rupees and a reserve tank, so nothing interesting there. What did Zempt just grab? Was that half magic?
I completely missed it.
Yeah, I thought I saw the word magic, but I wouldn't swear to it.
We'll have to check when Zem's just link the past.
Okay, gonna take a save before going through Spiky Room of Death, which has that name for a reason. It's pretty low in health, so this makes a lot of sense. And I think the prize in Paradox Cave was that quick medallion and not anything else.
Well, we got some boots of some
we got
kind.
boots?
Not the fast ones, but the ones that actually makes your Super Metroid movement better.
High jump? Ooh, high jump.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually a really nice find. High jump, speed without high jump is a pain. Speed with high jump is much better, so the runners will be happy to be able to get that.
Which I'm not really sure it does anything for us logically right now.
No, because we already had speed booster to get to Bubble Mountain. It does make it a little more palatable to do the cathedral check. Oh, Zempt, careful. This item without grapple beam or space jump is a pain to get. I don't think either he saw it and wants it or didn't see it yet. Just an E-tank. Looks like he's gonna take it. Ooh, silver arrows on the ether tab.
Okay.
So can't get those until we get another sword. In fact, Died in Hype Cave has not found the sword yet. There's a sword sitting there at the hobo that Madbow sequence broke to.
I mean, that silver location is especially with that mirror here.
Yeah, I was gonna say that location.
I
mean, there's no reason not to pick those silvers up now, because worst case is you can get them right before you enter GT with the mirror. Now, if the mirror decided not to show up, routing them in becomes much more difficult potentially later.
There is one potential case where you do not pick those up, and that is when the other three swords are all in the GT climb. Because
yeah,
go back down grabbing them.
Happen. Oh my god, that would just be awful. Oh, Omnifloss. Oh. See if he goes back again. Yeah, that Fantoon fight with low suits is no joke.
Currently deciding to bail on it for now, at least.
Yeah, I think
items.
Yeah, I think that's smart. You've got other things to do. You could send your partner there. Your partner might have a better loadout in terms of E-tanks.
Especially now that Madbow is heading over to Hera, they will get information about that mirror.
Yeah, so... I mean, the mirror doesn't do much for us until we have Darkhold access, but you're always happy to have it. Except when Swamp is a pendant and you just don't want to go there. And we'll see if this is going to be a 50-50 whether there's something in the basement of Hera. We'll see in just a second what drops for Crayon here. Oh. Well, it's at least you don't have to go to the basement. But shovel, yeah. Thanks, game. Now we gotta check that. Like if the shovel's nothing, Zempt can just come get his mirror and not even bother with the rest of Hera right now. Could just do it right before GT if he wants. But if the shovel is something, then Died in Hype Cave's gonna want to know that, so that Zempt is gonna rush and do Hera sooner.
Yeah. A problem with that is Doing Hera before GT here does not really feel good because you have to go to the in the light world to Hera because you do not have the mirror, so you can't go over there from the dark world.
No. I would just have him pick up the mirror in the basement, and then, because that's really, really quick. And then you can just do the rest of Hera at the end of the run. It really depends on, does this shovel have anything for us? And of course, because you can do it, especially if you're wanting to Herapod. Herapod's just easier with the boots. So, did we get anything in Spiral Cave?
Don't
Yeah.
think so. Yeah. On the other hand, if you have to do if you do not finish Hera, you have to do 2 additional world transitions before GT. So when you're already in there grabbing that mirror, might as well finish it if you're confident you're not getting much faster.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. I mean, I think either argument has merit, so. It might also depend on how good you are at that Herapod. I personally hate doing Herapod. So. But it feels like my seeds always seem to have big key in the basement, and you just have to do it. Just a reserve tank behind that shovel, so definitely don't need to worry about Hera for that. So have we got anything useful out of the wreck ship? I don't feel like too much has popped here. Okay, never mind. There's a glove. That's useful. That's Darkworld access, but we can't do anything there without a moon pearl.
Yeah, that's. We can hop into some portals and then look at some stuff. But yeah, we do not get to do anything currently.
It does mean that the only way we'll be doing Aga or Meridia for Darkworld access is if... No, actually, it completely means Meridia won't be Darkworld access, but the only way we'd do Aga for Darkworld access is if there's a moon pearl sitting on the pyramid, which, oof. Random when that happens in ALTTP only, but when that happens in SMZ3, you're definitely last locationing that.
Yep, can't speak from experience. You do that. On the other hand, that glove now opens up Zora to be in logic.
Yep. And back of escape, because we did not find the small key in any of the other chests, so we can now do that.
Which actually means our ice beam is now in logic.
Oh yeah, because we didn't find the key. That's right. Okay. Oh, there's the other glove. Crayon doing the first of the Bubble Mountain area finds a glove sitting there right there in Bubble Mountain. So we've already got mitts on Died in Hype Cave side. And Omnifloss doesn't get the quick kill on Cray, but makes quick work after he stands up.
Yeah, unfortunately it did hit the claw with the first super, so wasn't able to get everything pull in time. But yeah,
Your favorite item, space jump.
Yeah, now we are moving.
The best, that space jump makes this hell run so much better. Oh my god, ice rod and a cane to Samaria. I mean, we might not need those. No, we're gonna need at least the cane. We might not need the ice rod because we could still have Turtle Rock be a pendant, but we can't have both Turtle Rock and Misery Mire be a pendant. So that red cane gonna be hard required. So really nice find there for Crayon. Yeah, Space Gem and Screw Attack just makes these hell runs so much better. Now, it doesn't make a difference here. You got Speed Booster for this one anyway, though.
For the entire rest of... Even not only the hell runs, but the entire game movement is now just...
Oh, yeah.
How you want it.
Yeah, the high jumps, he's got all the movement items. Let's just put it that way. All the good movement. I mean, he doesn't have Spring Ball, which has some nice movement tech, too. But a lot of the things you can do with Spring Ball are things you do because you don't have those other movement items.
And I know some people that would argue that you do not need Spring Ball at all for anything.
Yeah, I see one of them. One of them is our tracker. I'm one of the. I like Spring Ball, but I'm also not of the. It's there's just some people that just really love the item, and there are times you have to pick it up because it will put things in logic in hard mode. It doesn't do anything in normal mode logically, but if it's out of the way and I have the other movement items, I wouldn't bother with it. Now here we do have the situation where, let's see, we have ice, we have high jump. That puts a couple of Meridia items in logic. I don't see anyone doing that anytime soon. Because Silas Meridia is really slow and not exactly what you want to do early.
The problem is, I'm not sure how much we have left currently, what we can do,
Yeah,
but
that's
we're
true.
still missing our moon pearl. So at
Yeah.
some point, pretty soon, if that does not show up,
Maybe
I
you
think
send
we
someone
will
in.
see someone go in there.
I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do. You can get to the Crab Supers item, you can get to the Mama Turtle items, and that's about it without Grapple Beam. No, we have Grapple Beam, so we can get over and do even more. Ice Beam even puts Botswoon in logic, so yeah, there's a whole lot we can do in Silas Meridia.
So regarding that density of items, I do think that will be actually a play sooner than later.
Yep. I do expect to see Croc first, though. Like that, to me, makes a lot of sense. Crayon with that wave beam. Oh, no, he's just... Okay, this could just be the Cathedral check. It's a very easily orphaned item if you get over to Bubble Mountain with Speed Booster. And those no interest in those power bombs. He's already got enough for a Crystal Flash if he needs it. Omnifloss, in fact, just Crystal Flash to be able to check this Crumble Tower item. This is this item that Omnifloss is about to check. My least favorite in terms of checking it without Varia Suit. I don't like the way he entered there. It's very easy to fall by accident. Does grab those super missiles, and now he's got to get out. I like to just check this item and then only go for it if I need it, especially if I don't have a suit. But he gets out just fine.
If you're confident and you get out, everything's fine.
Okay, I didn't see what he got, but it looks like he did check Back of Escape is going to get this Dark Cross item that Crayon did not get. He must have gotten a lamp because that was all lit up. So, can someone confirm lamp and Back of Escape? Because I did not see that anywhere else.
I don't think it wasn't a Back of Escape, but
always behind Alpha Peeves.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Because Back of Escape was the key supers and something useless. I will not say a hard container, but a hub piece. Yeah.
Okay, Crayon doing some unnecessary shenanigans on Croc, which not a big fan of because it's definitely slowed that down. Like if it doesn't slow things down, yeah, then go ahead. Mad Bow doing the wave beam area hell runs.
Does not seem to have found any.
No, he didn't.
Of importance.
Yeah, a little sad that he didn't do the reserve tank area first, because that's where that space jump is. Right now, it looks like he's gonna damage himself down so he can do a Crystal Flash to do that play. Needs to get down below to 50 or below. Yeah, there we go. That'll do it.
With Crayon now being able to check the items behind Croc, I'd expect them to probably head over to Meridia after this. If there's not some call of... Okay, no?
Yeah, I'm seeing chat saying something about a moon pearl somewhere, but I didn't see that. The only thing that's new is the Croc area stuff. So, I mean, once we get that pearl, we're gonna have pretty much full access to everything in Link to the Past, which is really nice.
Maybe it was at Ice Beam.
Omnifloss has it, and he did the Ice Hell run, so yeah, I'm guessing that's the case.
Okay, that puts no completely different
Yeah, you
Still
don't do Suitless Meridia over Dark World.
no,
When you
no,
have
no.
this much access to it. There's a lot of access to Dark World, so it's good that this is co-op because I know when I see this many things in logic in when I'm playing by myself, it's really hard to decide what to do. And so I'm having trouble because he's got speed and no high jump, and this jump is a little trickier than normal. Yeah, chat confirming Moon Pearl at Ice Beam. Now, Souls Meridia, not dead yet. We don't know where that gravity suit is. And a lot of other items that could be there.
But with mids already found across our runners, hammer, fire rod, we have a whole, even almost a complete Swamp Palace care package. Only Flipper's missing. Yeah, there's just so much Link of the Past stuff open right now.
Yep, I definitely see the runners doing a whole lot of Dark World right now.
We potentially could even pull clear Turtle Rock.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, if it's Quake.
And Crayon heading over to Ice Beam, so we'll get another chance to confirm that the pearl is actually there. There would be no reason to get here if there's nothing here.
I mean, as far as Link to the Past goes, we're looking pretty good. We need the boots because desert is boots. No, we don't need the boots because desert's dependent. We do need a bow, unless pot is a pendant and the runners can mimic clip. Is that it? And medallion potential? Like we have like almost everything now. SM, we need suits.
Oh, you say that in plural, but I think the various suit would be almost fine at this point.
Well, Zempt has enough E-tanks and missiles and supers to go full suitless if he wants to. Does need more power bombs. Crayon, I think, would need a few more E-tanks. Also possible that, you could also do suitless Meridia and just do Dragon instead of trying to find that gravity suit. If you're confident in your... and that's the place where you really would want Spring Ball to be able to help you get out of the Dragon area. So, those things are certainly on the table, depending on the skills of these runners. But Space Jump and Screw Attack, all the movement items, full beam combo, just so long as you have enough Crystal Flash ammo, is a pretty comfy Various Lower Norfair. Okay. Let's see who gets to the Dark World first. It also wouldn't be a terrible idea to send someone. No, wait, never. If we had a various suit, I could definitely see someone heading over to Lower Norfair sooner rather than later, but haven't gotten there yet. We're gonna get our first X-ray check.
Interestingly enough, done by the player without Space Jump, but with Grapple that's not the problem.
Yep. Now, I was about to say send someone to Lower Norfair, but it's not a bad play to check, since we have Flute and Mitts and... Oh, there's the half magic.
Oh.
Flute plus Mitts plus Moon Pearl and all that stuff. I could definitely see someone going over to Meridia, scout out the medallion, and do the GT, the SMGT area check. The item at Screw Attack is in logic without Various Suit, so you can see what that is. And then you could check the GT items, and if they're nothing, you can just reset to the ship. And if there's something, you still like Zempt in particular has a really nice beam combo to just. Well, he would want to pick up the charge beam, but has a good enough beam combo that he could probably get through the fight if it was actually something that you needed there.
Yeah, so you are correct that they probably would like to go to Meyer and not Meridia in that case.
Did I say Meridia? I meant Meyer. They both start with M.
I mean, you were absolutely correct in everything you were saying, but it was just the wrong name. And Meyer is dependent, as we got the Dark World map check from it though.
Ooh. So the medallion information there much less interesting, though good to have. Wouldn't be surprised if the runners also prioritize just finding out what the Turtle Rock medallion is. With this sword situation, yeah, I talked about the things we needed in Link to the Past. I completely neglected the fact that we don't have an in-logic sword yet. Okay, first check of Hive Cave. Oh, well, Silas Meridia is off the table now.
Yeah.
Hive Cave is too easy a check to for anyone to miss that, so Gravity Suit in Hive Cave is pretty easy.
Okay, now actually, if you would know Flash Deletion here in Matt Barrow's case, would it make sense to just go ahead and try to enter Meridia from the backside here, from backdoor entrance?
You don't even need
gravity.
You don't need splash deletion. I don't think it makes sense unless you're in go mode. Because when you think about how long it takes to get to that area, you're taking a long time to get there without any item checks, except maybe catfish. Whereas if you go the front way, you're getting a whole bunch of item checks. Now, if you're in go mode, or if you're the second runner in there, and you know you're gonna, you don't need to take any of those items, then I think it actually does make sense to do the back door. He is gonna do the Zora area. With Moon Pearl, you can check everything, so there's no reason not to. And our second out-of-logic sword, let's go!
The second one behind Flippers. So, now Sword and Zora Ledge and on Zora?
Yeah.
Although the Zora one wouldn't be flip-flopped, which is would break that sequence.
Okay, the nice thing, we don't have to worry about that piece of heart, because we don't care about pieces of heart that badly. And no one's gonna go over that far out of the way, even with flippers, to get it. And Zora gives us a heart container, so Flippers blocking a couple of swords, and obviously swamp and ice, or logical ice and swamp it, period. But not much else.
Problem for EGto Eggers, they don't, since none of them got to the direct ship yet, they do not know about the second glove.
Yep.
Which certainly limits the option currently.
Well, Mad Vow with that gravity suit should go to the wreck ship, and just do it. That makes the fight so much better.
Yeah, and now with Space Jump Edition, even getting there should be way easier. No need to bother with the beat. Meanwhile, Omniflash given us our first look into Village of Outcast. Can full clear these down. We do.
It looks like he's picked up one of those swords. I was wondering if that had happened or not.
Yeah. Actually, which one was it? Because I did not notice them going over to the
I didn't see him.
So
I'm gonna guess the hobo one probably got that a while ago and we just weren't watching. It's hard when you have 4 screens at once. It's hard when you have 2 screens at once.
Omniflash may just have found different swords, though. There are 4 to find.
That's true. Sadly, Thieves Town without boots. Kind of annoying.
Yeah, but sometimes you just don't get them.
Yeah, I mean, you don't not go to Thieves Town because you don't have boots. It's just nicer if you have them. Only on green mail, though, so it does need to be careful. A lot of the enemies in this dungeon do 2 hearts of damage, so. Okay, Mad Bell's gonna do this Fantoon fight. Has that gravity suit, just gonna make it that much easier.
Look in the chat now, I'm confirming with the menu. Zem skipped over the mirror for some reason. Now being in Hera doing Herapod and did not grab that mirror in the basement cage.
I hope he goes back and gets it. This could be the classic case of the I know where it is, therefore I have it. Wish I could say I've never done that, but I think we've all done that.
I mean, at this point, it's not too bad. You can just finish Moldom and then go back in, but still.
Yeah, as long as he remembers to go in after Moldorm, it really is not a huge difference. I mean, maybe a second or two, but not even that much. But if he completely forgets and has to come back for it, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
And that mirror hard required today because we do have to do swap talus. Okay, Omnif giving us the newest checks. Already in Thieves Town in the attic. I think we've seen 2 of the items.
Oh.
Okay, Mad Bell gets Fantoon down, so he'll get his information about the other glove. Did Zem not get the mirror? Oh,
no.
That's really bad.
I think that is about to realize it pretty soon, though.
Oh, because he's got, you know what? Yeah, he's gonna go into. But does he? Oh.
Yeah, he decided.
I mean, he's gonna go into the dark world, which I fully think is the right call. Assuming you have mirror.
It does make sense if you have the mirror, and you totally think.
I mean, even without the mirror, you'd do this, but you would, any other checks, you'd want to make sure you cleared out your light world stuff first.
Did he do Spiral Cave already?
I want to say Crayon did Spiral Cave, and I believe it was nothing.
So
you wouldn't necessarily need to mirror here after this. Oh, a cape and a heart container over at the Myers shed. We did have Quake on Turtle Rock, so we have the medallion we need. I did not see on Crayon's side what the Meyer medallion was.
Yeah, so chat pointing out that it was also Quake, so we do have the requirements for both.
I would personally, I would love to have Meyer be anything but Quake because we don't have it.
Yep.
I don't want to go in there. Yeah, so let's see. Let's recap what we need for Link. We do need flippers. The flippers will also put at least 2 swords in logic that we need. We need bow.
We have pendant pot, crystal pot.
Yep, definitely need a bow. And with light boots, I mean, theoretically, this could still be required if there's something in desert or more to the point, the GT torch.
Yep.
But we might not see boots today,
or
which
on
is
the pedestal.
Yeah.
Which would only be the flippers? Or something for Super Metroid? Yeah.
Yeah, various suit. Although a number of these players would probably just do suit. I mean, if you find out, I know for me, I would just get enough E-tanks to do Variolous LN at that point, but not everybody would want to do that. So, yeah. Oh, that poor. He wants that fairy. It just doesn't want him to get rabid.
I feel that. Some of these fairies up on the mountain can be just really, really nasty.
I mean, he's got plenty. He's got half magic and blue cane, and you can do this with 3 hearts and blue cane. So he's gonna be just fine. But you could have saved a little bit of magic by having a few extra hearts. And it's just for a missile. Meanwhile, Crayon doing Skull Woods, which he cannot complete because he does not have one of those swords.
Which is unfortunate.
He can do everything but Moth, but unfortunately there's this curtain there that you have to slice with a sword.
Yep. And I would expect that Ren is not going to check the chest under the bridge in the back of Skullwoods.
No, it's kind of a slow check if it's the only thing you have back there. Zem's gonna get his gravity suit soon, so they'll have that information. He's about to do Hype Cave. I don't see Dyden Hype Cave heading towards those flipper checks anytime soon. Still out of logic, except for the Zora item itself, and there's so many other good things to do. So it might be a while before they get that first sword.
That might actually happen.
Okay,
On the other hand, there is a potential if you have the mirror, but Zem does not have it. Sadly, when you walk to Catfish, you can set up a splash deletion to get your fake flipper and then check all of those checks.
Yep, that is He lingered on that menu for a while. I wonder if he just realized he doesn't have the mirror. He's heading to the mountain.
The case because
I think so. I can't think of any other reason to go to the mountain for him right now.
Well, he has the flute, so you can just flute anywhere from the mountain. But that's pause there, indicating that there was something. Not what he was.
I think his plan was to mirror to the light world and flute. And is like, wait a minute, I didn't actually grab that. It's always a bad feeling when that happens. Like I said, classic, I know where the item is, and therefore I have it. And we've all done it. It's easier in co-op to do, too.
It's much easier in co-op. This feels especially bad because this is such a long and painful walk back to Hera.
Yeah, because the quick way to get there is the one that is with the mirror, which we don't have. Meanwhile, Mad Val's gonna find those mitts. You can store potions. Okay, so a bottle on the Bombos tab, what we see on Omnifloss's side, so we're not gonna be getting that. We've already gotten like 2 or 3 bottles, so no need to get any more. So, I mean, this is not so bad as it could be. Like, it's definitely a time loss for Zempt. But he found that mirror early enough that it wasn't like he was trying to go into Swamp Palace in a go mode situation. And then had to go get it then.
And for Omnifloss, this is kind of working out good timing-wise, as you can just now grab the gravity suit, mirror, go back to the direct ship, grab that mitts because you want them.
Yep.
And then...
Yeah, I think that was the only thing in the wreck ship was those mitts. So, like, I mean, it's in a terrible spot, but like you can just go to them. You don't have to worry about anything else. Looks like Zempt might be going for some, possibly some bolus pod, but could go from this portal to Meridia. Wants to do it from the back door. I still don't like the backdoor Meridia play when you're not in go mode, just because you're not getting items on your way there. I much prefer to see the front door. No, this is pod though. He's definitely heading to pod.
Yeah, you would first still have to set up that splash deletion fake flipper, which you do not have the optimal equipment for it. You can do it with what you have, but that may not be something you are very trained on. Yeah,
and the better way to do that, honestly, is if you have boots to do a water walk.
Yeah.
So. Unfortunately, doesn't have that sword. Can't finish this without the bow. I did not see if he went and got a potion, because that would allow him to easily sequence break the right side. But we'll see. You could just, if he knows how to mimic clip, you don't really need a potion for it.
With the flute, buying that potion would have been probably still faster, unless you are very, very good at an unbuffered
I think that's a fair statement. Although I will say this, in SMZ3 as opposed to Link to the Past, because our bows are not progressive, I feel like doing that sequence break is not nearly as powerful in SMZ3, because you're not finding a bow there.
And also, with the bow, just lock in so few items in theory, and it potentially being your last item, you can waste a lot of time in here that you did not really need to do. Need to spend.
Looks like Blue Crayon is going to go ahead and do Thieves Town, which for him means a Swordless blind fight. Has a hammer. Can also use Cane of Samaria.
Yeah. I'd say the Cane of Samaria one is probably easier since you
Yeah.
do not need to land the hammer hits. You can just lay the block and wait for blind to run into it. Or dance or whatever blind is doing there.
Especially
So,
with half magic there, yeah. I we'll see what he does, but definitely a decent choice.
and we do have Zemt attempting that sequence break.
Omnifloss wants to get that other sword, and unfortunately, in a fake flipper state, if you get hit and you're not on the screen that you jumped from, you will take an immediate death.
Okay, and yeah. This is some very, very good mimic clip.
Oh yeah, very well done from Zem. That was really quick. Yeah, if you can do it that quick, just do it. No, absolutely no reason not to in that situation.
If you can do mimic clip like that, you don't even have to think about getting a potion
exactly.
for it. You just do it.
We have a small key there, and okay, so it looks like the rest. So a lot of this isn't Bollock. There's only one small key there. This stuff that's behind like 6 keys are.
Yeah, that does not work, unfortunately, Tempt.
I mean,
need your boots.
Oh yeah, the little clip there, yeah.
Also, if the Samaria block gets off the screen, it disappears, so...
Oh, we're seeing Meridia from Madbow, which is a bunch of new checks for us. And finds blue mail. Definitely not a needed item, but it's definitely one you'll take. I'd go out of my way for one mail upgrade. I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way for a second one. I mean, although it kind of depends on just how far out of my way we're talking.
Yeah, you really feel that upgrade from the green mail to blue mails almost doubles your heart count in almost any situation, and that makes so many things so much more comfortable. The red mail is not really needed, especially in Combomizer. When you get to the point where you can clear those late dungeons, you usually have checked so many items that you have at least 10 hearts.
Yeah, a little more powerful in co-op because same way that we don't get as much ammo in co-op, we don't get as many hearts in co-op because all those heart pieces you're telling your partner are nothing and they just never get them. But yeah, I mean, blue mail, definitely going to go much more out of the way for that first mail upgrade than that second one. If that second one is on path and you maybe just grab it, but if it's not, then you're just like, well, oh well, blue mail's fine. Okay, let's see what the Dark Maze has. There's that map.
Surprised Omnifloss not going for the mids right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty important. On the other hand, he can... I mean, there are other things he can check. Although, if you're not going to go for the myths right now, I feel like he's the one that should be in Meridia. Whereas Madbow, who has the myths, should be doing more Link to the Past and doing some of those myths checks.
Yeah.
Ooh, a mushroom! To be determined! Anyone want a fetch quest? Zempt, while he's over here, is gonna clear Eastern.
It certainly is something you can do. You still are looking for some stuff. I don't think they actually were this deep into Eastern. When you check the first...
Yeah, it looks like they checked a little bit of it.
But they're...
if you've checked that much of it, I kind of don't like this, because if you can't... I mean, it's green pendant, so... I don't think I'd want to go back into Eastern unless I was intending to get that green pendant. And without the bow, we can't do that.
Yeah, I was speaking on the assumption we actually...
Oh, he wants to charge me. Never mind. That makes sense.
Yep. Now, if you're already over here, this...
Yeah, I totally forgot about that charge beam. That is an item he definitely wants. Get a smith check for a blue boomerang over on Crayon's side. And we'll get some sand pits over on Madbow's side. And Crayon gonna also grab the purple chest. If you're gonna grab the purple chest, it's kind of nice to not have the boots because you don't have to worry about it slowing you down because you're already slow.
Yeah, but that does not really. When you have the mirror, that's not too bad because you can at some point just leave the purple chest behind and dash again.
Yeah, after a while. I just prefer it. I'm not gonna say I prefer not having boots, but if I don't have boots, then it's like, okay, let's just do it's an easier decision, I think, to do that purple chest when you don't have boots because you're not going to be losing any time to not running.
Although that is probably one thing where Randomizer or SMZ3 and the standalone Link to the Past Randomizer are now a bit more different from each other, since with Quickswap, if you have the hookshot, you can actually just get your ability to dash somewhat good back there on the first few screens. So, yeah. I'd say in standalone Link to Past Randomizer, that doesn't even come to play much more anymore. Okay.
The Omnifloss has a sword and we'll be able to finish Skullwoods. And I'm gonna come back to where is that? Where are those flippers and where are those other swords?
Well.
Oh no! Oh my god! I guess some of those. I guess those speed blocks aren't respawning. You can actually soft lock in those speed blocks if you get hit like that, and usually that happens because you're low on health. Because some of those speed blocks do respawn. And if they do and you're stuck in them, there is no short charge that you can do.
I mean, yeah, there are some people that can do incredibly short charges, but
not that one. Not with two or three, whatever it is, 2 or 3 tiles. Oh, that was a little scary. Okay, Crayon about to get that gravity suit. And we'll see something possibly new over on Moth. Don't know if we got all the items in Skullwoods yet.
We got at least one.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I did not see the rest of the front. But with how key logic works for Skullwoods, the Moth cannot have a small key, which is half of the dungeon items in this dungeon.
Yeah.
So, not unlikely that the Moth actually has the second item. But it's
or could have the big key leading to the second item in the big chest. That's always a fun one. Okay, MM2, our tracker, saying that there was an E-tank in the pot prison. So...
Yeah, then there's no more.
Then there's nothing left, which I don't think Omnifloss checked the front yet. In general, if you have Fire Rod and the ability to get to the back, it makes sense to do the back first and then do the front, because maybe you just get both items and you don't have to bother.
Yep. Oh, okay. Okay, with the mirror and the flute, that's the case. With Omnifloss already having done Thieves Town, you could have made an argument, since you are not going back here all the way, because there's usually no reason to. Sure, you should have cleared from front to the back.
Yeah, you can make that. Yeah, in co-op it's a little bit different, I think. Yeah, and maybe you get a tempered sword, which we know won't happen, but sometimes that's a reason to do the front first, is looking for one of those sword upgrades.
Yeah, I do actually think not going back for the mids currently is hurting Omnifloss really routing wise.
Yeah, like I said, I don't like this. Like I said, I would have sent him into Meridia if he's not gonna go get those mitts. And then Mad Bow, who has the mitts, could do a whole lot of Link to the Past with those mitts. Oh, there's that E-Tank. And Crayon gets his Autologic sword. Actually, it looks like he got both Autologic swords.
Yeah, which makes sense at this point, and...
Yeah, they're running out of good checks.
Dinosaurus and Logic.
I don't remember which one did the Mire area, but when they did not dip into SM, which I don't like. That Screw Attack item in Logic, you can get intel on the GT, the Golden Torizo items, and maybe get them. In particular, Zempt has more than enough E-Tanks, if he's full on health, to do that fight if there's something good there.
And the problem is if you're resetting out of that fight, you're going back to Super Metroid, so maybe they didn't really want to start at the ship then, so I can understand not going there for it. But maybe they should, at this point, take at least a peek.
Oh, or you could get your gravity suit, or sorry, your Various suit right there at Dragon. That's a classic SM only spot for Varia.
Yeah. And I actually like what Crane is doing here right now. Get them back over to Ice Palace. Crystal Dungeon you can full clear.
Yep. Not in Logic, but let's see. We're not gonna find flippers here, but can find bow here, so he can't just go mode this. But if he does find a bow here, then we're just gonna be missing those flippers, and he could just at that point choose to go mode it. Okay, we haven't seen back of escape over on EG to Aga's side, so it looks like Omnifloss is going to do that now.
Like 90 minutes or 82 minutes.
I mean, that's classic SMZ3. Now, they did Dark Cross, so they don't have to worry about that item. So. Yeah, I feel like Zempt and Crayon are in a really good position. Zempt has a lot of choices. Could just go straight to Lower Norfair. Could do something like Turtle Rock.
Yeah,
right now he's going to clear out. He's going to save scum these sand pits, see if there's anything there. Yeah, he's also with the grappling, maybe to Shack Tool.
I do think with how they have their items over them so far, it's probably a good idea for them to do as much of Super Metroid as he can currently. Just get the information if there's something in there, and Crayon can do just all of the Link to the Past stuff, and once they find anything, they can just tell the other to stop what they're doing.
Yep.
And get the respective items.
Yeah, I'm never a fan of the Shack Tool check, but in co-op I think it's a little bit better.
Yeah, especially if you have all the items to bring it into Logic. If you decide to isolate it or to skip it, you will last locate anything that is there.
Oh, for sure.
Although that may in co-op not take as much time, still
annoying.
Not getting it. Again,
did we see anything at Plasma Beam that Mad Bow just checked?
I totally missed Mad Bow even checking it.
Okay, chat make an interesting point that probably isn't the case because we don't know. We have two swords. Oh, that's a sword. So yeah, okay.
Yep.
That point that we were just no, that's boots. That's even better. Although not required. Oh, that's a terrible place for boots when they're not required. Like you have to go get. Like how can you not go get them if you're Blue Crayon, right?
No, I think in Blue Crayon's case, especially with the Link to the Past versus Super Metroid setups, I can see them not going there, but these boots might still be required. We don't know yet where to go with.
I mean, You just have to go get them, like, because they're boots, and you literally might not save the amount of time it takes to get them with boots, but there's that 1 in 22 chance that there's a big key on the torch. There's still that chance that flippers can be on ped. So they, like you said, they still could be required. So I think you just gotta go get them. And the game's just more fun with boots, so you can't blame anyone for just getting them because they want them.
I do think you can route this in the way where you can delay your decisions on how to get boots long enough that you get the information if you need them or not, and still not lose any time. So, yeah, I don't think you actually have to pick them up here. It really depends on where the bow and flippers are, though.
Yeah.
Because if you are forced to get your various suit before you're reasonably in go mode, then you are close enough to the boots that I think you should actually get them.
I think that's a fair point. And the only other thing we got in Meridia, I believe, was that mushroom and the blue mail. And blue mail, of course, not required. And the mushroom is to be determined. We'll find out. Stay tuned.
Will we find out, though?
Oh, maybe we won't. No, we'll find out, because if they never go there and they beat the game, then it's not required by definition, right?
Yep.
Okay, Mad Bell, gonna go ahead and kill Kraid. Chat's saying there's an armor and ice palace, so...
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you're not gonna go out, yeah, if Crayon, he's not gonna go out that way for that blue mail. So what he wants to know, from Zempt, is... do I need that mushroom?
And I think...
And I think Crayon would be very, it'd be smart for him to do, like you said this earlier, do all that, do the Link to the Past stuff for as long as he can. But yeah, getting those boots though would be so nice. So he's gonna do Pyramid Fairy right now. It's another drag the item thing that the boots, with hookshot you can do some dashing, but you're not losing that much time without boots here.
And if you have to menu to the hookshot and back from it, you actually lose the time you're saving, kind of.
That's fair.
So that's like I said, that's some stuff that standalone Link to the Past Randomizer with quick swap enables you to. Without quick swap, that's not nearly as worth it. Might be still worth if you are long enough on the hookshot that you actually can save time, but you still have to factor in those, the 3 seconds you get from the menus to and from hookshot.
Okay, so we're done with Meridia on Zempt's side. And we have a whole lot of crap in Pyramid Fairy. Okay, so Zempt, where are we going next? I feel like he's got a couple of good choices. He could just go straight to Turtle Rock from here. Turtle Rock is pretty infamous for having things like flippers and bows on Hype Cave. He could also go to Lower Norfair from here. He could also just flute over to Misery Mire area and do Lower Norfair from there.
Yeah,
probably quicker. I think that's quicker at this point.
The problem for Zempt is I don't think Zempt has swords so far, so he can't open up Turtle Rock. He needs to pick them up.
Oh, yeah, he needs to get... In fact, I think that is what he's doing right now. Gonna go get those swords.
So there's 2 possibilities how they can do this. Either they split up in the way that Zempt is now going to TR, and Blue Crane is getting over to the various to get the various suit and the boots, because then you should definitely grab them.
And in this situation, you might see Crayon go ahead and do the fake flipper over to do the Meridia from the back. I still would really like to see Zempt check that mushroom.
And Crane is actually setting up a fake flipper
Yep,
right
he's
here.
gonna do the fake flipper right here. Yep. I would really like to see them check that mushroom, so that their team can know whether that mushroom is important or not.
Crane attempting to set up here. This fake flipper is a little bit off because you actually have to hold diagonal if you're doing it from the screen. Here you have to do vertical.
Okay, he's got it.
Horizontal. Yeah, on that screen, the fake flipper there, the screen transition is kind of weird. You see it in cross keys all the time, but it's not as intuitive as you might think. And
Crayon.
that is,
yeah, that's the danger. Like that area is very dangerous in fake flippers.
Yeah, if you want to get there with fake flipper, you have to know what you're getting into and be ready for it, because those enemies, they can really ruin the day.
Okay, so everybody's got 2 out of logic swords now.
But yeah, this is kind of the reason why I might have, or why I might like Crane actually doing Turtle Rock more, and them being still being the one to finish the Super Metroid checks first.
Yeah,
so
I agree, and maybe that's what they're.
information.
Oh no, Crayon just given up on the idea of doing the back door. But yeah, I agree with you, because Crayon has that Master Sword. He can go into Turtle Rock and clear it. And if it's nothing, it's nothing. But you know, you're gonna clear it. That's kind of what they have left, to be honest. Them doing Ice Palace. Yeah, he's gonna be able to go mode it. Probably will pick up that mail upgrade, but actually I didn't see where it was. So depending on how out of the way, because he's got the blue mail already. But now you're doing something your partner's already done. Like both of these two are doing something your partner's already done, and they could be making progress by putting one of them in Turtle Rock and the other in Lower Norfair. In fact, we see on Madhouse I had E-Tank over at the GT area. Because he also got that various suit from Dragon. Maybe is going to go ahead and just do Lower Norfair right now, which I really like.
Yeah. Does not look like Madbow actually got the boots though, which...
that means he hasn't done Shack Tool, which, you know, I mean, it's a terrible check. I will never blame someone for not doing Shack Tool.
No.
But that's going to hurt them, I think.
I definitely do not blame them, but this can come back to bite them, because there's still the possibility that the boots are even hard required.
Yeah,
not just for the GT torch. We have still about 3-4 checks locked behind boots.
Yes, we do. And that's actually something Zempt could be doing now, but is not. I'm just going to go ahead and clear this Ice Palace. So Blue Crayon has the Ice Beam and has never turned it back on, this is the place you want to turn it back on. When you're doing these boss fights. Bot's Wound is only 4 shots with Charge Ice Wave Plasma, as is supplementing with Super Missiles to do the fight otherwise.
Looks like Madbow is now actually going to do Lower Norfair.
Yeah. He's one very suit. I like this choice on their part. Maybe Omnifloss will, now that he's going to get those gloves, or sorry, those mitts, should hopefully be going into do some of those myths checks on Link to the Past.
Yeah. Foremost Ice Palace. Probably a quick one. We know there's nothing in there, but if you get the bow in there and can just do pot on a single dip, that's
now, question. Did Omnifloss or Madbot, have either one of them been in Eastern and seen that charge beam?
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't see it marked in either their tracker.
I'm pretty sure one of them has been there. I'm pretty sure one of them was even the first one in there. But they were across teams, I think, at the same time in there.
Yeah, okay, MM2 saying he doesn't think they have. I trust our trackers, but then again, tracking is hard.
Didn't we talk about that there was not a map check and we wanted to hear dungeon music for Eastern?
Yeah, we did, but who was in there?
We didn't get it because Crane was too early out there. I think Omnifloss was
wait,
in there.
Yeah, you're right. It was because 2 of them were in there at the same time. So, unless they didn't get far enough, Yeah, I have a hard time believing you don't get to that chest that Charge was in. It's possible that Mad Bow has not picked it up yet. I don't recall him being in Eastern, but 4 screens, easy to miss, so...
I don't think Medbow was in there, because if they were in there, they could have gone to pot first, and I don't
that makes
think we
sense.
saw them there.
And to our tracker, MM2, tracking is hard with 2v2, with 1v1, and just, harder with, with, 2v2, so...
Yeah. I mean, we just missed so many stuff here while we were talking about things. I completely missed the Moonpole when it first picked up, and...
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Our trackers do not have it easier because they have to watch the same amount of screens. So, yeah, there are some things that may be forgotten. But...
Okay, Madbell, get out of here. Yeah, okay, we're good. This is a scary room when you fall down. It's not as bad with gravity suit because you can still move in the acid, but...
yeah, I've been there when you do not have gravity and get stuck
that's
there
very
in the
bad.
acid.
Okay, Zemp doing the boots checks. So far, nothing, but we got one more check to go.
You think we have Omniflash on the way to Turtle Rock? Or at least to Douglas Mountain?
Yeah, I don't know if they have the knowledge yet that it's Quake, but they're gonna find out. And I think for EG to Aga, they need to be doing these checks.
At this point, you have to go in there.
Absolutely.
Even if it's not logic from your perspective, you might have just missed the one sword that puts it into logic, and Bow and Flippers are notorious for being in Turtle Rock.
They really are. And I think Zempt is going to finally just do the LN play. With Crayon getting boots, he might be the one that goes into Turtle Rock.
Yep.
I mean, LN doesn't really like to have stuff a lot of the time, but it's super linear, which means that you're not going out of your way for very many items, and you don't benefit from go moding it too much. And Turtle Rock's kind of the same way. In fact, I usually compare the two. Lower Norfair is Turtle Rock, whereas like Meridia is like Swamp Palace with all its little detours you can take. Crayon gonna get his boots.
Yeah, and did show why I actually like to pick up Springball when somewhere on the way, because having to powerbomb yourself up those little nudges.
Yeah, this one, the Crayons on in particular, is a big pain. In fact, I tend to turn off my high jump boots on that particular one. It's just a little bit easier.
Yeah, having Springball for those.
It's so nice. I mean, it's the Springball tutorial room, so much like Springball should be good for that room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things about Super Metro when you play it vanilla for the first time, is the game teaches you how to use things by making you use them once you pick them up, which I think is really cool. Okay, Omniflash is indeed going to enter Turtle Rock. Zemp gonna pick up that X-ray scope. A little bit surprised. He's already done all the bosses that X-ray scope actually helps you with, but maybe he wants it for extra safeties for Sandpit. Sorry, for Sandpit, for Stand Up at the end of the game. Meanwhile, Madbow in the Ridley fight.
Choosing to use supers. He calls no charge beam. No reason
Yeah,
to not
looks like he might have to supplement. I'm not a fan of standing in the acid while doing that. That is an old strat that people have used, but
I mean,
you have like, there is that nice spot you can just stand in and not take acid damage. He's got plenty of missiles, so he shouldn't soft block here, but definitely missed enough supers there that he had to fire several of those regular missed enough supers, had to fire extra regular missiles. Even with full beam combo, it is a little faster to do it with supers. On the other hand, you might want to save those supers for later and not have to refill at the ship. Although with full beam combo, you really don't need to refill at the ship before the end. Yeah, Omnifloss with no safety items for Turtle Rock is just gonna have to avoid those rollers. And Crayon gonna go ahead and get... What was this? This was something good, but not... Oh, it's silver arrows. Yeah, you want... This is a good time to get this.
Yeah. If you go this way, you can.
I think it might actually be a little more optimal to get them either after you're done with Turtle... Well, yeah, no, you can finish Turtle Rock. After you're done with TR or right before GT, because without having to kill Vitreous, without having to kill Armos Knights, it's useful in Helmasaur, but I don't feel like it's as needed, and it does take an extra menu if you want to switch to those silver arrows.
Yeah, if it's just for Helmasaur, I don't think picking up Silver Seal would be worth it.
Yeah, I think just doing the quicker trip over to Turtle Rock and then picking up the silvers before GT might be the better play. But I mean, in the end, those are very small details, and there's also the argument of, well, you can pick them up now, just do it, and then you don't forget.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 Ridleys down.
Especially since the teammate of Ren already did a thing where you've been there, you picked it up, therefore you have it.
Yep.
Thing, so making sure is definitely not wrong there.
Okay, and of course... Wait, why is... Oh, he wants the fairy. Okay. I was trying... I'm like, why is he mirroring? No, he wants the fairy. Like... Does still need to... or did he... He may have opened this up already. Yeah, he has. Okay.
And I think Lower Norfair was a complete bust.
It's that way. I want to say Zempt and Crayon did the Croc area, but Omnifloss and Madbow have not. So if you're EG to Aga, do you send Madbow into Croc after this?
I think so. You have to find something.
Yep.
And there are not many places to be left. Croc has, what is it, 5 items? Which is the same amount that Turtle Rock has.
Mm-hmm.
Although Turtle Rock has the added 6 with Mimic Cave, but still.
And the fact that you have to get that crystal.
And numbers-wise, there are just as likely to have any items.
We have a Bombos, which is really not interesting. Omnifloss and Madbow haven't done Ice Palace, so you can save a little magic by using that Bombos on the Cold Stare fight. But that's about it.
On the other hand, that's actually slower since the fire shots are faster, so while it's safer, it also loses your time compared to doing it optimally.
Yeah, I'm not... Yeah, not being... Oh, wait, no, that is... No, that's GTR. I don't see Croc on there. I don't think.
That is... Actually, isn't that Croc there? Oh, no.
No,
no.
It's... Yeah,
it's just the round way to GT.
Yeah. I don't know why he's just sitting there with the map open. Like, at this point, do something. Like, anything.
Maybe just taking a pause. I don't know, maybe... These races are still... we're reaching the 2-hour marks. There are sometimes some things that you can't avoid doing.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
You can also use this to communicate with the teammate and maybe wait on the TR info.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of using that as a wait and see thing. But yeah, I mean there are times you just have to take a break for real life reasons, and if that happens, it happens. Okay, we're on Laser Bridge. Does Laser Bridge have anything for us? Them going into desert at this point, yeah. I mean, that's an in-logic check.
Yep, up to
Makes
2
a lot of
items
sense to do
up
it.
here.
Ped is not dead yet.
Yep, Flipper's still able to be on that pedestal. Although it was checked on one screen, so we should know what's on there, and I don't think it was Flippers, because chat would have been gone.
Yeah, they would have
wild.
gone nuts. There's also the green pendant over at Eastern that we can't get because no bow. But
Yep.
Right, bow can't be there, but flippers can be there. So, and if it were, and like you said, we would know it if flippers were there.
What's not on Laser Bridge?
Sadly not. So what
They
do
have
we have?
Trinex.
We have Trinex, which we're gonna get to very soon. Omnifloss gonna do it. Trinex with the Master Sword is annoying, but he's also got a hammer, so he's got options.
And looks like the second item in Desert is actually on Landmo, so...
yeah, that kind of sucks.
in the dungeon.
So you kind of feel like you have to do this, and you know, if this isn't the answer, maybe you go into Mire.
Yeah, there's so little things left.
Oh, Crayon, no! Oh, I hope. Oh, this is. Oh no.
Oh,
Oh, I mean,
is a way to get
it is
out there.
doable. I can't do it, but there is a way to throw that block in a way that will hit the switch, and that's what he's trying to do. He can mirror though, so
Yeah.
it might just be better, especially considering the mirror spot's not that far away.
I wanted to say that you should probably just mirror at that point. With having done Mimic Cave, you lose not that much time.
Yeah, you
Way
probably lose
better
more
than
time.
having to
Yeah,
save
you
it.
probably lose more time trying to do the strat that gets you out of there with the cane.
Yeah, I think in Zem's position, you absolutely have to dip into Mire after this.
I think so. Okay. Omnifloss got one head down.
Oh,
Let's see,
maybe not.
Oh, what did he just get?
That were some Flippers.
Ooh.
So
EGto Aga needs to get over to Shack Tool. Because that is a Boots Lock Desert that has an item on Landmo. Okay, so we have Flippers, so I think Zem just goes to Swamp Palace now.
Yeah, definitely. There's nothing else you do right now. You head straight to your 6-item Crystal Dungeon. There is a debate on you doing left side first.
No,
or
you're go
second,
-1. No,
yeah.
you're go -1. You do it. You don't do left side. You do left side after.
Depends though. If you think you are the player that's ahead, has less cleanup to do, then by all means should go to the left side because you have the time to spare.
Well, Zem still has to do Thieves Town. Crayon still has to do Ridley. And Zempt will also have to do Turtle Rock. So essentially, Crayon will be a boss up on Zempt. Oh hey, there's a sword we never saw. We could have seen that like at the beginning.
Yeah,
3 Flippers Lock swords.
Okay, yeah.
That's crazy.
So our fourth sword is guaranteed to be in Swamp Palace because there's always a sword in Swamp Palace.
That's right. might literally be 4 Flippers Lock sword. I am always of the, but it doesn't matter. The debate between going left side or not. I'm always of the. I usually don't like to do left side swamp first, except in key sanity modes, in any situation. But go -1, like it's just such a long wait. And I think Crayon's the one ahead. So it just seems to me that the play here is to go to the back and hope it's there.
Usually I'm right there with you, but this being co-op, I think it's at least something that you
It's a
have reason
discussion.
to talk and think about.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you should always be
So-
discussing that stuff. Now, I know some people that are just always do left side first, so because it's faster with diver down strats, but faster does not mean fast. It's still pretty actually slow. Now, Omniflash struggling with the Trinex fight, and Blue Crayon's kind of taking a lead, such as it is over them. Oh, Omniflash takes a death.
That looked intentional, because Omniflash ran out of magic to use.
Ooh, okay, that could be.
But
Yeah,
in
if
this
you
case,
don't
it could
have-
mirrored.
Yeah, it doesn't have the half magic. Yeah, Mirror would probably be faster there. Well, but health-wise, he might not have gotten as much health back.
But he
I
had
didn't- I
to
didn't see
take
where he
at
was.
least 2 hits from Trinex, so I think that's a wash.
That's fair. Okay, Crayon, having finished Trinex, is probably going to go straight to Desert to get his flippers.
Yeah, at this point, the last item you need has not much spots left where it could be, so might as well. He will be in there soon enough.
And he might just go ahead and do Ridley at this point right afterwards.
Yep.
Gives Zempt enough time to fully scout the swamp area. And for Crayon, just gonna have to grab the keys and get out.
Omniflash again missing 2 fire rod shots on the ice head, and I don't think that's enough.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
Yeah, Hammer Trinix is something you have to
I
learn
hate
a bit.
hammer critics.
It
I
does take.
do it, but I hate it.
But it is kind of necessary to learn it at some point.
Yeah, I mean-
because you are not.
Oh, yeah,
guaranteed
absolutely.
that hampers.
There's situations where you might be in here with the fighter sword. Now, me personally, if I have enough magic, I'll just do a total rod Trinex and not even bother with the hammer. But that takes a lot of magic. You want to have half magic to do that, and probably 2 extra potions.
You want to have a lot of magic.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough magic to do that at all. Like no potions and no half magic. And also with his issues with magic, I would have liked to have seen him create the platform before picking up the pot. Or if you do it fast enough, you can actually create the If you create the platform while the magic's refilling, you'll still get a full refill. But either way, having that extra magic would have been useful.
I actually don't think that's exactly working like that, because that full magic refills an exact bar of magic. So if you are empty,
It doesn't
you have no
work.
choice.
Okay, it sure looks like people get full refills when they do that. But either way, setting it up so you have the full magic going in here, so you have 2 extra rod shots, definitely would be helpful. Okay, he's down to 2 hearts, so he's gonna have to be careful here.
And going for the double spin is risky. If you're not careful, you can take damage.
Yeah, it can happen. 1 more hit, I think.
2 hits.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, no 1.
And Mad Bow in Ice Palace. Again, gonna be full clearing this because they're still looking for a bow.
We have Crayon now on the way to... No? Dipping into Mire.
Now he's dipping into Mara. I kind of would rather see him do lower Norfair because you have to do that. Oh, never mind. There's Bo in Go mode, and he's gonna not go into Mire.
Yeah, there was just the thing about who's actually ahead, because if Blue Crane was ahead, like you said, it would have been probably better for him to go into Mire and scout while Zept is doing the stuff.
Well, I kind of like the idea of him just making progress to the thing he has to do, which is do lower Norfair, and then send Zempt over to Mire if the answer isn't Swamp. But in the end, they both showed up.
That would be the problem. If Zempt was behind already, he would lose more time if that's not necessary,
that's a good
because the bow was something else. So... Also, I did not pay attention to Zempt being on left side or not, but if Zempt wasn't there and...
No, I don't think he did. I think he went straight to the back.
Would have managed to find the bow and Maya before Zempt had to go to the left side. Or all the way to the left side, it would still save them time. I think it was at least okay, the decision.
But yeah, in Blue Crayon, he's just gonna be able to go mode this and just grab the bow on at the end, and they're in really good shape with a tempered sword and a bow. And it looks like Omnifloss is gonna find those boots over at Shack Tool, which is only part of the puzzle. The other part being getting over to Desert to find out that is where your flippers are.
I mean, at this point, have much left.
At this point, you just don't even have a lot between the two. Between Zempt and Crayon, are just gonna rush these dungeons. Crayon might not even do Ridley until after they've done GT. Although for him, it just doesn't make a difference because there's nothing more for SM that would make it better.
I think in that case it would actually be better to just do Ridley and take the portal out to link the past to get back to the ship after Ganon. So you don't have to walk all the way back up to Tyrion through Super Metroid.
Yeah, I mean there's options, but yeah, I mean if you're comfortable doing the reverse amphitheater acid dive, then you can just go back that way too. What's really tough for EGto is Omnifloss is going to find those boots, and then they're going to have to decide, do we then send Madbow to get them too? And what do we do in the meantime?
Like I said, they can't have much left to check at this point. So
no, they really can't. They've done most of the things.
They must know if you find boots here. And Omnifloss isn't even checking the items on this, definitely grabbing it. Yeah, you probably just go check boots checks while Madbow is grabbing those boots, because that has to be your progression.
A little surprised that Crayon did not pick up that tempered sword before doing this. Argus with tempered sword is a lot easier than Argus with Master Sword.
On the other hand, you can just grab the sword after Swamp Palace and do not have to do extra mirror transitions that way.
It's a little more efficient in that sense. But I guess it depends on how good you are with the Master Sword fight. And just using double slashes. There's a really nice way to do this where you grab 2 puffs and do a sword spin that would make it a little bit faster. And if you're good at your poke dashes, you can do something even better, but that's really hard, so. Okay, Zempt into the Helmasaur fight. Should be pretty easy with this loadout. Has the tempered sword, can just do a couple spins at the end if he doesn't want to menu over to Bo. He also hasn't picked up his silvers yet. So.
I'd say slash is actually better than spins here, because you need to reload that spins.
Yeah, I tend to do 1 spin because usually I'm holding I don't do the speed setup. I just hold the sword out to make the hammer hitbox better, and so there's usually a spin ready.
Yeah, if you have a spin ready, by all means
that.
use it, because it's just doing double damage.
Yeah, there we go. Crayon's gonna go get his temper sword right now. And Mad Val into Misery Mire, which is not the answer. I mean, he's not the one with the boots, so this is a fair choice to make.
I think that's the right decision at this point for them.
Yep.
Because they don't know if the boots are the progression, and if Mad Val can skip them at this point, it's huge. I can skip them.
Yeah, Omnifloss is doing the boots checks right away.
But yeah, this is just unfortunate for EGto Egger. This will definitely not work in their favor.
Okay, so if Omnifloss flutes over to the Mire Desert area, I do expect him to go into Desert, because he's the one with the boots. And meanwhile, Zempt and Crayon clearing up the things they need to do. Crayon going to go ahead and just do Ridley now. Also needs to do Pod and Skull Woods. Zempt needs to do Skull Woods and Turtle Rock. So in Zempt's case, you're going to do Turtle Rock last. There's no question about it. Whereas Crayon can kind of do things. I don't think there's a one order over the other that's more efficient. The key thing he needs to do is not forget anything. Because I don't know about you, but I know that I've had in co-op in particular, I'm constantly having to double check, do I have all the crystals? Because, again, the classic, I've seen it, therefore I've done it. Oh, Omnifloss doing Smith Chain over boots checks? I don't like that at all.
Yeah, that's something I actually do not like. Especially with where the boots were. I think you should prioritize checking.
Oh yeah, you go that far out of your way to get those boots, just go follow them. And unfortunately, it looks like Mad Val's found both items in Mire, so what do you send him to do now that he's not doing Mire? Like, he could have done could have done the Smith checks while you did Desert, whereas Mad Val without boots can't do Desert.
Fully agree with you there, and that's exactly why I don't like that.
Looks like they might not have done a desert dip at all, because it looks like that's where he's headed now. He's gonna steal the key here. Not a fan of this at all. This is slow, and you've got someone that can clear desert because they've got boots. I don't like this.
Yeah, the problem with this is if the boots are required because you need the boss actually, yeah, this will not gain you anything but lose you even more time. So while I get behind why they're doing it, I don't think that's actually a correct decision to make.
Also, I really wish Omnifloss would not have that mirror on his menu while he's running over to turn in the purple chest, because accidental mirrors do happen.
Hey, this is fine. You just need to not hit the item button until you are at the screen.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna hit it on purpose.
Yeah, but you do not have quickscope to just get away from it. So...
if you're not checking anything from the purple chest pickup, honestly, I just flew.
Yeah, I do too.
And these is just missiles, and so where are we going next? Desert Palace? Is this the Desert Palace play? I mean, I don't know what else they have.
Yeah, I do think they do not have anything else left. There is just that demo, and looks like Omnifloss is getting ready for getting over there, and gets now the information, okay, one item left on demo. While Mad Val has to know, okay, now I have to grab those boots.
It's them cleaning up Thieves Town. Thieves Town is a terrible go mode dungeon. It's so hard to skip chests in Thieves Town when you're in go mode.
The fun thing is if you get the small key in the front somehow before the big key, then you can actually skip that small key that Sam just picked up, which is about the most go mode thing you get of Thieves Town.
Pretty much, and skipping the big chest, but yeah. Shoutouts to Retrance over on the ladder side, where small keys are all universal, and so you never have to pick up that key before going to kill blind.
And one exception is when you get into this town without any keys.
Yeah, exactly.
That should usually not happen.
Yeah, and
Because-
Blue Crayon is going to do the reverse amphitheater, which is probably quicker in this situation, so there's nothing in the escape from Lower Norfair. And Mad Val is just going to go ahead and clear Thieves Town. Probably realizes at this point that Omniflask is going to find the go mode. The good thing is he's making progress. The bad thing is he's doing Thieves Town without boots when he could totally have boots for it, which would just make it better.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point you just go get your boots. I mean, there may be other locations we're not thinking of that they haven't checked, but if there aren't, then just go get your boots because like you're just out of things.
Even if they are, why is Mad Bow not heading for them in that case?
Yeah, good point.
So although there might be Red Bomb actually, since since neither of them has cleared both Red Crystal dungeons, they only cleared one each.
Ooh, yeah.
So this
That's
might
true.
actually be exactly that. Red Bow heading for the
Okay.
Red Bomb.
Okay, that's a really good point. We know that's nothing, but unfortunately, they're about to find out that those boots are required, and Mad Val is not going to be in position to leave Thieves Town. You can't. I mean, it's a crystal dungeon you have to complete. You're not saving time by getting the boots now.
No.
Okay, Crayon gonna head over and finish up Pod. Still needs to also do Skullwoods. Zempt is gonna head over to Turtle Rock.
Also, very little small thing that I noticed here. There was actually no reason to pick up that pendant after the flippers.
Oh yeah,
for
you know,
teams.
it's so hard to think. Yeah, you could just save and quit right there,
Yeah.
or mirror if you're already menued to mirror.
I don't think you can mirror actually in that case. Maybe in the
No,
Lightworld dungeons, but
yeah, the game has a window. There's a window where you can still swap over to mirror, but if you don't have the mirror out before that window is over, then you can't menu. And if you can't menu, I mean, not that it's relevant here, but you wouldn't be able to quick swap either if you were playing Link to the Past only. So you have to be ready with that mirror ahead of time. But in this situation, I don't think mirror is the optimal thing. You just save and quit.
Yeah.
And that you can absolutely do once you pick up the item. But it's so hard to remember that because it's so rare that actually is a thing you'd want to do. Okay, Zempt gonna get his silvers on his way to Turtle Rock. Mad Val gonna get Thieves Town done. Is gonna probably head over to turn in the big bomb. Although maybe I feel like you just go get those boots now that you know they're required.
there's no reason to delay the boots any longer since you know they are required. The earlier you have them, the better. And there's nothing you can find for Super Metroid that makes any faster to get there.
Yep.
There's literally no reason to not get the boots here.
I mean, the only thing this could be is your bow, and at this point you want the bow being in. Although there is a certain argument to say that the Pyramid Fairy is maybe a worse location for your opponents, and that if it's on path and swamp, that's a better location for your opponents, and so maybe checking the out of the way thing first. But he's gonna do the right thing and go get his boots.
Also, the red bomb has been accessible somewhat early.
Yep.
And especially if you have one player going to the rake ship earlier and not or managing to getting the information earlier than Omniflas did since they died. You could have done the red bomb very, very early, so going for that as your last chance feels like a hope that will never be fulfilled.
Yep.
Because in co-op especially, you have just someone get there at some point. Especially with the flippers so deep, it's more likely that they've done red bomb before getting the flippers. So if the bow is there, you're in trouble anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's really at this point not a good spot they could be thinking of to find the bow can be. I mean, left side swamp maybe, but swamp again available so late. You don't skip left side swamp. I mean, you do it after you kill Argus, but you don't skip it. And I will skip left side swamp a lot, but there are situations where you just can't, and this is one of them.
Yeah, so you can make arguments to skip an item or two in left side swamp when you have about 30 other items to check first for your one go mode items. When there's only 3 others left,
yeah, exactly.
That's not as good as an idea.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Crayon done with Pod. Just needs to head over to Skullwoods. Does remember that he has to head over to Skullwoods. I don't remember which one of them dipped this early, but it's especially hard to remember that you still have to finish a dungeon if you dipped it earlier. So
I've been
and
totally
unfortunately,
been there.
Omniflas making the wrong decision and doing left side first. I go -1. I don't like this.
Yeah. I mean, this may be the point. Omniflas definitely looks ahead. Although still has to do 2 Super Metroid bosses, so maybe it's not. So it would make sense in that case, but
yeah, I never like doing left side swamp first, winning your go -1. I just don't like it. And as I said before, for me personally, the only time I do left side swamp first is in key sanity modes. So
I make
then it's guaranteed items.
For me, it depends on a few things. So I do it sometimes, but I am certainly skipping left side swamp or doing it second, only after Argus, way more often.
Yeah, I would add that pendant versus crystal, whether you found dungeon items or not yet, also influence it. If you found few dungeon items already, then it makes more sense. There's nothing worse than getting over here first and finding a map and a compass.
Yeah. Okay, finding at least 1 dungeon items in the first 2 chests is one of the requirements I have to consider left side swamp doing it first. Because if I don't find it, even if it's a pendant, I'm usually dipping backwards because it's more items in less time.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, Zemd about to enter the last crystal dungeon boss. Can head over straight to GT.
Yeah, he's actually not even that much. He's about a mountain climb ahead of Blue Crayon. So yeah, they're gonna finish pretty close to each other. So yeah, which could be really useful in terms of big key hunting because like Zemd can go to the right. Sorry, go to the left first. And then if he hasn't found the big key by the time Crayon gets in there, Crayon can go to the right and they can kind of split the GT key routing a little bit better than often happens.
And this is actually interesting. Zemd might actually be not fast enough to get to the right side with left side start first to tell Blue Crayon to just go left.
Yeah, maybe not.
Kind of optimal in that situation. Because if there's no small key in Hope Room, and the big key is actually on the right side, Blue Crayon starting right would be actually bad.
Okay, so I don't understand why Crayon is going. I mean, maybe he just doesn't realize it's faster to hook shot across the mountain. But this is definitely not faster in this situation. He's already gotten his silver, so there's no reason to go this way first. I'm rather confused.
If he had not gotten the silvers yet, this would have been maybe smart in trying to delay just long enough for them to give the information about the big key, but with the silvers already collected, I do think that's just a routing mistake.
Okay, so Zemp just gonna head over to the left. He might be, maybe he's a dark magician stratter, which I think is fine in solo, but I'm not a fan of this in co-op because like the whole point of this is to be able to mirror out of the Stalfos room, and now you got a second person to be checking stuff that can go in that other direction.
I do actually think this is better for co-op since you are getting guaranteed information on the right side. Or on the compass room, even if there's no small key, and that for the first player to be in there and just being able to tell the second player that you need to grab a small key on the left and then head right for the big key is more valuable than any other
yeah, but he doesn't know that. Like Crayon is, if he goes right now and there's no small key, then what do?
He has to go left then, and that's the exact problem when Zempt is not mirroring out here. Because Zempt could have told them if there's no small key in here, and he got to the compass room
yeah, I see what you're
first.
saying. He could skip the Stalfos room. Hey, a spacer that we don't want. At least it won't be activated. So, in the end, there is a small key in Hope Room.
So if the small key is in Hope Room, this works out just fine. But I feel like this does leave a little bit of routing to chance.
I do like that Crayon waited for that torch to go out because he was kind of trolled by a little bit of getting the magic and stuff, so he's just going to start it over. And there it is. And Crayon's gonna need to. Okay. He still needs to get another key. Crayon, go. Okay, good. I would have just dropped down. Like if I have 0 keys, I probably just drop down and get that key. But this is fine.
Anyway, if you have 0 keys, you just grab that one behind that.
Yeah, if you have a key, and he might not have thought of it in time to.
Yep.
But at some point he looked up, saw he got 0 keys, and is not starting to climb with that. I mean, it's possible you get bailed out, but you can't count on that.
You do not want to.
That is not a chance you take.
Especially if you do not have checked the full basement.
Yeah,
if you have checked the full basement and can have information about keys, then maybe.
I mean, if you've checked the full basement and don't have a small key, I think that means there has to be one on the climb, but I still might not take that chance.
There's almost always a GT big chest. I do not know if there can always be a small key in there, but
oh, that's a good point.
You most likely will not have checked that.
Oh, GT big chest can absolutely have a small key, so
you would still chance the climb.
Interesting that Zempt went and grabbed the key in the drop down when he didn't need it. He can just grab the Helma key. But now you can just go straight through the Helma room and not worry about it. Don't see these guys opening any chests at the top. I mean, I guess if you're Blue Crayon, if you care about a gold sword, you might consider opening the chest since you're ahead. But I think that's about the only nice thing left. Yeah, Zempt, I don't think should be checking anything because he's the one behind. Even if Crayon finds it. Yeah, I mean, we've got all the SM stuff, so yeah, there's really, like I said, there's just nothing.
So you can go for it, but I personally wouldn't bother.
Yeah.
That said, I'm also linked to the past players, so being Tempered Sword Silvers is more than enough. The Gold Sword doesn't save you time anymore. So
I love.
Seconds.
I mean, I really like to have that gold sword, but yeah, it's just you know, you're in a race. The amount of time it takes to if I know where the gold sword is, it'll probably save me enough time, because I'm, you know, my Ganon fights are not. I'm not getting a 1-in-1 on tempered. But if you can get a 1-in-1 on tempered, then it's definitely not worth it. Meanwhile, we do have EGto is in go mode, so they did find their bow. We'll just have to clean up. Mad Val in particular has a lot of dungeon cleanup to do. Omnifloss has 2 bosses yet to kill, right, in SM, so it's a really long go mode for them.
Yeah, it's definitely not fast.
Okay, let's see if Crayon does any checks up here.
Needs to grab the small key, so might as well. Maybe there's just a small key in the chest, but okay.
Nope, not gonna bother. Yeah, there's no reason. There really isn't a reason to. I mean, there's actually a really good chance there is a sword up here because we've done so much checking. But I mean, again, they've got tempered. There's just really not a need for it.
But since you still needed the small key and there's the chance for the sword and
yeah,
you are
I see.
ahead, there would have been enough reason to go for it, but I can't.
Yeah, so you're saying it's just it can be faster to open a chest than to kill the Helma. That's.
No, I wouldn't say that, but you can make enough reasons for you to just check chests. It doesn't matter if you lose a few seconds.
Yeah, for Crayon, yeah, because he's the one ahead.
So if you are very behind and do not have enough keys, you should just go.
Yep.
Get that one from the Helma. Since it comes to you, you can just take it.
Okay, meanwhile, Crayon in the Aga 2 fight. And about to go into Ganon fight.
10 hearts. I believe blue mail.
Yeah, it's the problem with these weird sprites. You can't always tell. I believe they both picked up the blue mail in Meridia. And one that might actually be on red mail, because there was a...
Them definitely is not.
This was a red. It was a mail upgrade in Wreck Ship that was kind of out of the way.
Yeah, I would recognize them as red mail sprite.
Okay.
It's not this one. One of the other German Link to Past players, Ravis, also
yes,
uses
he's a
the
Sonic
sprite.
player. Yep.
Yeah. And I've seen him often enough on red mail that I exactly know the sprite.
That's fair.
So Crane making use of that camp for the second phase. With half magic and the blue potion to spare in addition to silvers. You have way more magic than you would need for 3 Ganon fights.
Yep.
Damn, actually missing one cycle in the first phase. So gets that one cycle with tempered sword spins, since they both double hit and do other sword damage. There wasn't even a necessity to use the cape. But it can be a bit finicky, because if you try to slash Ganon there, that prevents your spin from loading.
Alright, Crayon is done with Ganon and will now head into Super Metroid.
Just let that bridge spawn first, and then walk over
Exempt
it.
going for a completely unnecessary torch glitch. I'm not a fan of going for torch glitch with tempered or higher in silvers.
Yeah, sometimes it just works out that way that you can go for it anyway.
I mean, if you get it with the quick fire rod shot, I think that's really cool. But going out of your way with the lamp, I think, is unnecessary, especially with this much magic. But you know, I mean, to each their own.
Yeah. Now,
all right, Crayon in
just-
SM. Zempt about to be in SM.
Yeah, so this is actually a race now between the two teammates on who
Yeah.
can have the better Tyrion, who can finish Super Metroid faster. They should have similar loadouts and ammunition. Oh, although Zempt apparently does not have supers at the moment, so that could slow him down a bit.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do the first Metroid rooms with regular missiles. Doesn't really need supers because we've got full beam combination plus lots of regular missiles.
Yeah, but that's not as fast, so he likely won't win the race against his teammate. That way.
Yeah, for sure. Omnifloss can at least get into GT ahead. I mean, he's still got 2 Super Metroid bosses, but at this point he can scout out GT. Get a mirror for those silvers.
Sense. But yeah, routing wise, this works out at least for EGto egg in a way where Omnifloss could clear full clear GT, get the big key info before the teammate there, which is about how you want to have it happen, ideally, without having to delay for it extra. So this is the one situation where you probably just could check tile room because it does not really matter.
Let's see. Mad Bow has 3 crystals to do. Omnifloss has 2 SM bosses to do. I don't know if what kind of lead that is, to be honest.
So I just forgot about this for Metroid.
Yeah, for sure. If he had done those bosses already, then yeah, doing tile room first makes a lot of sense here.
I mean, it does not make really much more sense since you will be done with the entire GT before your teammate is even close to it. So it's just
yeah, I guess
whatever.
that's true too. Yeah, you're right.
You could
But
just
it makes more sense in this situation than in certain others.
you could just do stuff like go to the torch, grab that small key, go to room, do tile room, go back to Starforce room, then go do compass room, and still be done with the basement of your teammate is there. But yeah. In this kind of co-op situation, at least, there's more reason to try and think about, do you want to check tile room actually? Because if the big key is in there, you can maybe save your teammate a lot of time.
So the question I have, considering how many places we've looked, and considering 3 of our swords were flippers locked, where was that 4th sword?
Do we have anything else left besides Left Side Swamp and GT?
We saw Left Side Swamp.
Oh, right. So do we have anything else left?
I think GT is it. I think we actually had 4 flippers locked swords. I don't know where else a sword could have been. I feel like we full cleared everything else. Green pendant. There you go. There's one.
Green pen.
Green pendant could have had it. I don't know
Maybe
if we got 3 items on
Eastern.
Yeah, I don't know if we full cleared Eastern or not. We might see some more GT checks on Omnifloss's side because we know that the big key is on the right side, and he's gonna full clear the left first. And if you know what, I think we're still Flipper's Lock though, almost no matter what, because even if it is Green Pendant or Armos Knights, with the bow location, that's also Flipper's Lock.
That is a little bit deeper
yeah.
behind Flippers, but I do think actually, yeah, you're right. All 4 swords were behind Flippers.
I think all 4 swords, unless there's some place that we're forgetting in chat, feel free to tell us we are. But
I think there could be.
There it is. Never mind.
Okay.
It's in GT. Yep. It's right there in Bob's chest. So yeah, we have 4 Flipper's Lock swords.
So, did we ever get to the graveyard? Let's check.
You know what? Maybe not. Oh, MM2 says we did, that it was Missile, so there you go.
I think that's about the only location that I could have thought of not being checked into the past.
Yeah, it's kind of an annoying check anyway.
Yeah, also true. We're logically required to do land move without sword.
Yeah, Hayes making a good point. Since the Flippers are boots locked, we have 4 boots locked swords. Oh my god. Thanks, game. I mean, it forced us to get boots, so I guess that's a thing.
Yep.
Okay, Crayon in the escape. Simp working on stand-up. Omnifloss is about to get his big key as the other team finishes.
Bow going to grab the charge beam.
Yeah, I don't know what his ammo count is, but if it's not good enough, you gotta do this.
With how early you got information about charge, I think it's just at some point you even stopped picking up, or you early on stopped picking up ammunition because you had information about full beam combo. So yeah, at this point you kind of forced yourself into picking it up, but you also just skipped quite a bit of time over the seed preparation for this.
Alright, Blue Crayon gonna finish up with an official race time of 2:33:04. And Zep gonna finish up with an official race time of 2:33:30, giving Dyden Hype Cave the win here. GG's to Team Dyden Hype Cave.
Wasn't the nicest of seeds, but they definitely made good work of this.
Let's see if we can find out. Hopefully they'll come join us, but let's see if I can figure out who they are playing next. Oh, looks like they'll be playing Team Corndog with Apathy Duck Apathy Duck and a Real Cutie. That'll be an interesting matchup. Duck is very good, especially Link to the Past player, but also very good in Super Metroid. Cutie a little bit unbalanced because one of the best Super Metroid players out there. pretty much the only ones that are better are like the Zosts and the Behemoths of the world. But it's Link to the Past less good, we'll just say. But it's really competent in it. And unfortunately, we do have forfeits from EGto. At this point, I can see them not wanting to finish.
Yeah, they have there's so much to do.
Yeah. Go mode, and this is like the opposite of the Cross Keys tournament that's being played right now, where go mode is like a few minutes, whereas here you get your go mode item, you still have like tens of minutes to go.
Yeah. You are in go mode and Compromiser, and then you have 30 more minutes to play. In Cross
I
Keys,
know,
you
right?
have go mode, and then you have 3 more minutes to play.
Yeah, exactly. And I see we have Zempt and Blue Crayon in here, hopefully, and Mad Val, and Omnifloss going to join us shortly. GG's, everyone.
GG's, guys. Hello. GG's.
All right, so first of all, a shout out to Four Swords being behind both boots and flippers.
Yeah, that was
not
funny.
not a kind seed.
That was so funny.
I mean, we were really good with swords because we broke it really early. But yeah, we noticed that it was all flipper locked.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when we got our swords, but it was not that early. I
Yeah.
just avoided the game entirely and played SM. So I didn't matter too
Well,
much.
I like that because that's more my game too.
It was nice to get that rare Thieves Town with Kena Samaria. I love that.
Yeah, swordless Thieves Town, not always fun. But hey, I'm with you. You had the choice of hammer or cane. I would be also using that cane. But yeah, in the end, the fact that Zempt and Crayon went to Shack Tool a lot earlier. And, I mean, you didn't immediately follow those boots because, I mean, who wants to go back into desert? But just having them at the time you did just helped. Just getting them early in general, and then having them finally lead you over to desert to get those flippers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, finding Varia and boots at the same time. I'm gonna go into Lower Norfair before I go into desert. You know.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I got the boots just to kind of speed myself up, but I was going to do out of logic to try to find other stuff while Zempt kind of chased the logic. So that's when I ended up in Turtle Rock. Soft locked myself and had to mirror.
Yeah, I mean, at least you had mirror.
I forgot how to do the strat where you knock the Samaria block up with your boots.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
I probably should be the one to tell you, but I couldn't really explain it to you either. I'm not too familiar with it.
Yeah, I know I've seen people do
There's a certain
it.
trick to it. It's not just throwing the block. There's some hidden trick to it.
I mean, Shack Tool was basically very bad for us because when I went to Meridia, I didn't have Grapple or Ice because I never picked it up. And I was like, okay, let's skip Shack Tool this time. Maybe we are lucky and there's nothing there. But yeah, we did like everything and then we were like, okay, let's go and check Shack Tool. And yeah, that was really bad.
Well, Zempt was specifically saying, like, should we skip some checks? Because I feel like we're ahead. And he's like, no, we play better 100%. So he went for it.
It's kind of dumb how many times we 100% seeds in these, but
Yeah.
I think that's just SMZ3 in general.
it is kind
To
of
be
the nature of the
honest.
game. Yep.
Unless you're Aussie.
Well, I mean, Asi's just on a whole different plane, so.
Yeah, we're talking here about humans, so we don't need to compare us to our something superior. Yeah, I mean, you all did pretty good on the seats still, and with how it's been, I think you did did for the most part the best you could out of it with how this was built.
Yeah, I think the other unfortunate thing is, who was it? Omnifloss that did the direct ship early, and just couldn't get past Fantoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you all were very late to those mitts, and that hurt you a lot too.
Yeah, I almost died to Fantoon as well.
Fantoon's no joke without a suit.
No, he's not. Yeah.
I realized afterwards I could have used pseudo screw a bit, maybe, to make it a bit safer.
Oh yeah, if you have charge beam early.
Yeah.
Well, heck, even doing good old Nintendo power strats if you're really desperate. Just pseudo screw through the enrage phase.
Yeah.
It's slow, but it's pretty safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, the beginning of that seed was probably the craziest thing. I did 5 checks, got 5 key items. What's going on?
Oh yeah, the pedestal and the ceiling with book and hammer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to Link's house had powder, and then Uncle had.
Oh yeah. Uncle had some crazy
fire
stuff.
rod.
Too.
Yeah,
Fire
rod
and flute.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was a really crazy beginning.
But unfortunately, I don't think you found a whole lot of bombs or money for Kakariko.
No, I realized I was so excited and like confused that I didn't think, hey, I need money or bombs. So I just kind of went to Kakariko like, what now?
That's why I do always hula hand first. I'm
Yeah, I
always
had
scared
to-
of having no money.
I had to farm
fair.
bush crab like 3 times just to get enough money to do everything there.
Oh yeah, that was 5 rupees only, right?
Yep.
All right, so let's see. Crayon and Zempt, you will be playing Team Corndog next. A real cutie and Apathy Duck. What do you think about that matchup?
It's such a wild card. I think depends on like how safe Link to the Past is. I feel.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean SM, you've got one of the best at SM, and Duck's no slouch in SM either.
Right.
But there's definitely a gap in skill between them in Link to the Past.
Yeah, no, I think they have both of them have us on Super Metroid skill levels for sure. But I think with like good routing and maybe some Link to the Past luck, we can make it past.
Maybe something like the seed would actually not be too bad in that case.
Depends on if they find their swords early or not.
Also, do they check
Okay.
Shack Tool?
Right. Yeah, that's another thing. Yep.
All right, and EGto, you'll be playing Clan Nutsy. I believe that's Orange and Rich Kupo, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Any thoughts on them?
Not sure.
To be honest, this is my first tournament I'm playing in, and this was like my first ever restream, so I don't really know much of the team, so
That's
I
fair.
can't say much about that. I'm sorry. We will just see. We will play our best and have fun, and yeah.
I mean, having fun is the whole point, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm very glad they like rescheduled our match from yesterday. Thank you for that again.
Yeah,
It was
No
fun.
problem.
Hey, this is more to just play than it is anything. Like, I know I'm not going to win the tournament, so let's have fun.
Yeah, you get 2 games plus whatever quality you guys did. So yeah, absolutely. All right. Anything else anyone wants to add before we go ahead and close this out?
Nope.
No, GG guys.
Yep.
GG.
GG's.
GG, have a good one.
All right. So that's going to pretty much do it for us. I'd like to thank several people. I'd like to thank. Oh, go,
One last thing.
Yeah, go for
I
it.
got Spring Ball just for you, MM2. I want you to know that.
Awesome. I support that.
He hates it, so.
I know. His hatred of Spring Ball is well documented.
I'm not too long in this community, but I've heard about that, so it's no.
All right. Okay, so yeah, that'll pretty much do it for us. I'd like to thank our runners first of all, Adval, Omnifloss, Zempt, and the Blue Crayon. If you're not already following them, go ahead and give them a follow. Also, a definite thank you to Raylan for joining me on commentary, and a big thank you for MM2 for solo tracking this mess. Our tracker is always the MVPs of our tournaments, so definitely huge shout outs to him for taking the time today to do that. And I'll let you go ahead and close us out, Raylan.
Hope everyone enjoyed this race. Tune in to the next one. I believe that it's not until Saturday, unless we got another one scheduled at the last minute. But yeah, until then, see you next mission.